Once upon a time, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one grew restless and said to his father, "Father, give me my share of the inheritance." The father looked at him with sadness but agreed. He divided his property between his 2 sons, knowing this decision would test the heart of the younger one. A few days later, the young man gathered all he had and left for a distant land. There, surrounded by strangers, he spent his wealth in wild living parties, pleasures, and so-called friends who loved his money more than his soul. But soon, the money was gone, and when a severe famine struck that land, the young man found himself alone, hungry, and without a single friend to help him. Desperate, he took a job feeding pigs, an unthinkable task for a Jewish man. He was so hungry that he longed to eat the pods the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Then, in the silence of his misery, something awakened inside him. He thought, "How many of my father's servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will go back to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.'" With a heavy heart and trembling hands, he began the long journey home. He rehearsed his apology with every step, unsure if his father would even look at him again. But while he was still far away, his father saw him coming. Day after day, he had been watching the road, praying to see his son again. And when he finally did, the father ran to him, something a man of his age rarely did. He threw his arms around his son and kissed him. The son began, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you, and I am no longer worthy." But the father interrupted, his voice trembling with joy. "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Let's prepare a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And so, the celebration began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard the music and dancing. He asked one of the servants what was going on, and the servant replied, "Your brother has returned, and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound." The older brother became angry and refused to go in, so his father came out and pleaded with him. But he said, "All these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who wasted your money with reckless living, comes home, you throw him a party." The father looked at him with compassion and said softly, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate, because your brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now is found." This parable is one of the most beautiful stories Jesus ever told. It shows us the heart of God, a Father who never stops waiting, never stops loving, and never gives up on his children. The younger son represents all of us who have drifted away, chasing freedom in the wrong places. The older son represents those who stay near, but forget compassion, becoming bitter and self-righteous. And the father represents God himself, loving, patient, and full of mercy. He doesn't punish the returning child, he restores him. He doesn't hold a grudge, he celebrates his return. That's the kind of love God has for you. No matter how far you've gone, how many mistakes you've made, or how unworthy you feel, he's still watching the road, waiting for you to come home. You are still my child, and you will always have a place in my house.